What's up YouTube, Tyler from Amiga Bros, and I'm just doing a quick video and talking to you guys about the impact of Lightsworn Structure Deck. It's like Realm of whatever. So, basically for 3 easy payments of $10.99 you can play Yu-Gi-Oh! In a very broken way. For you that don't know, the Structure Deck basically comes with just about everything you need, and all it's really missing is Curry Bandit, Soul, Charge, the Needlebug Nest, dragons, and then like the 2 to 3 dragons that you play, and that's really like not a lot to get a hold of for the real deck, and then you need extra. So I mean, it's just kind of like it's a very simple deck, but it's a structure deck, so really you're gonna see a lot of people playing it. It's an easy thing to play, and the deck is very explosive. You really have to just like your game 2 and 3s have to be very heavy sided to get the easy win if you're playing something a little different. Like with Lightsworn now being popular again, I was playing Hat, and I'm switching back to Water because the game 2 and 3 matchup I'm able to side about 10 cards that don't affect me at all, that just completely shut them down. And also with me not having to worry about back row, I could do all my shenanigans stuff and get out like a Dweller and Gaios and then just sit there, or like a Berserk and Gaios, or Berserk and Gaios, stuff like that. So with this deck coming out, it makes other decks a lot more playable, and other things see more play. Like excuse me. I think Evil Swarm, you're going to see a lot more play. It's a very cheap deck. It's easy to pick up. I mean, if it didn't see a lot play before, it's going to see a lot more now. I mean, the fact that you're going to go into a tournament, you're going to assume you're going to see a lot of it. And if you just want kind of like free wins, it's also not a bad meta call whatsoever to play Evil Swarm. It's just, it stops their JD, stops their blaster. For you that don't know about the... Oh, it also needs Wyverns. I forgot the Wyverns don't come in it. I was going to say, that's a really big problem. For you that don't know or haven't seen the deck play, basically what they do is they got like a 4-star tuner, a 3-star tuner, and the Synchro, which is broken. I think the Synchro is called Michael. That one's a level 7, has a requirement is a tuner, and a light monster. So you make it, and then you could pay 1,000 once per turn, and then banish any card on the field, which is completely broken. And when the card's destroyed, send all your Lightsworn back to your deck, which means you can mill and mill and mill, like late game if you really need to, if you're running out. So with the deck being so popular, you're able to just, like I was saying, you can play different things, and everything still like decks can reshine. Like when Hat was really popular, a lot of decks that was really hurt by back row couldn't see as much play. Well, with Hat like wheedling out, like after watching ARG Philly this past weekend, there was like no Hat, I believe, in the top 16 or 32, something like that. But there wasn't as much, like there wasn't any Hat like really moving on. It seems like people like playing it less and less. Like I personally really like the deck. I think it's a good deck. But with decks like Sylvans and Lightsworn being huge combo decks, then you have Gear with the stun, and then you're most likely going to see, then the Lightsworn Rulers, which a lot of people are going to play, because I mean, it's a decently good, it's a pretty good deck. I mean, there's nothing really terrible wrong with it, except for the fact that it just sacks. I mean, it's Sacksworn, what do you want? But for Lightsworn structure, for you that just play locals, it's a really, if you're playing it, like if you just play locals and you don't want to spend money, this is the deck to play. I understand getting Exciton, Arc, and Draco is expensive and hard, but from me seeing how it plays, if you really wanted to play at budget, just get a Black Rose. That's really it. Get a Black Rose and play at least one to 2 Roses and 2 Michaels. The whole point is basically just clear the board, your opponent's board, set up with the 2 Wyverns in graveyard, and get a Dragon. You can get Dragon with Chain. I understand Chain is also expensive, so if you can't do that, you do play Foolish. You can drop a Blaster, banish your 2 Wyverns, add the 2 JDs, and once you go Rose, you can nuke. You can feel really safe about going JD, Big Dragon, because that's instant game right there. And like you don't really have to leave off with Felgrand if you have 2. If you have 2 left, like I understand you mill, I believe it's like 8 or something like that, but you do have 3,000 monsters, and I mean, if you're playing budget, then your main card you really do need is Arc. You need an Arc, and a Zen Mains is also a very easy budget card that actually puts in work in the match. So that's if you're playing it. And like I said, the things you need that are you really do need Wyverns. Those are the most important card. I think you need to really pick up that Curry Bandits and Soul charges. That's what it's called. So for you that are not playing it, like I'm personally not playing it, and when I go to locals tomorrow, I'm expecting to play about 4 out of 5 of my matches against that deck because I know everyone in my locals, a lot of the people at locals are either past fans or budget players, and I know they're going to end up picking it up. So me playing water, I already know that I know which side, I know what's going to shine in the side decks with this deck coming out. And I was testing with Danny last night about an older card that I'm personally signing 3 of, and it made a huge impact. And I know I'm gonna be perfectly fine. So for people that are not playing good choices, in my opinion, I think water has an amazing matchup against it. Like you really don't have any fear of, you don't have fear of back row. Like when you play hat, if you're a water player, you play a hat and you have the problem of like you end up like Teus and you drop and then the Nightmare Teus and you're just like, that's a pretty big neg, you know what I mean? Like they literally search out something that just allows you not to really play Yu-Gi-Oh! And when they have a hand and then set 6, set 5, it's a problem. So for Lightsworn, you don't have to worry about that. So you're able to play the big monster combo based decks. And then also, like I was saying before, Lightsworn, I think Evil Swarm are going to be a huge deal because first turn Ophion is a very easy thing for them to do. Also, they have no problem protecting it because a lot of the times, from what I'm seeing, like watching ARG Philly, a lot of their cards they were playing was like Decree. They were playing like Book. I think I saw some Wind Blast, but they really weren't playing traps. So they don't really have to worry about traps. And even if they do, they have a Pandemic that they search out regardless. And if they don't have to worry about traps, then they're going to search out the trap card, which allows them to get Kirkion, which makes another Ophion next turn, or a Bahamut Shark or a Bahamut thing to take whatever you have, which is a problem. So I think Evil Swarm's a great meta call. Water's a great meta call. Believe it or not, I do think Spellbooks are actually not a bad call at all. I mean, Kaiku Jowgen's really good. You get the field spell up. What are they going to do with the field spell? They're going to have to blow it up eventually, and when they do, you Jowgen them, and then they're forced to pay another 1,000. I think Fate's really strong. It's kind of like I don't know how well it'll do like in regional wise, but I just think it's not a bad call. And for some tips for you people that are playing against Lightsworn and having some problem, Light Imprisoning Mirror, as we all know, is really good. I'm testing Kaiku is amazing. If you can open Kaiku in the back row, it's good. Banisher. I was testing Banisher and Kaiku and Hat, and it was honestly MVP. Like if I was playing Hat like in the next week, I would probably side 2 Kaiku and triple Banisher. Like that's really it. That's all you really need. Opening either one of those in back row is very, very strong against that matchup. They do have things that get over it, but when they do get over it, you mostly have a trap to back it up. And if you don't, then I mean that's just how it is. But if they summon their one monster and can't special or mill or do whatever to the graveyard, then you're starting off very strong. So you have Kaiku, Banisher, Iron Wall I think is really good. Light Imprisoning Mirror. Berserk is making a huge deal. I never thought the card was good until now. I think it's now very good. For you that don't know, it's a generic rank 4. 2 level 4s, you can detach 2 and banish 2 cards in your opponent's graveyard. And then you can equip it to an XYZ monster and it has 1,200. So the equipped to the monster, I think, gains a 1,200 or something like that. So you can make like huge monsters. Like I had a 4,000 Abyss Gaios last night, or whatever. And then I banished his Blaster and Title, and he's playing Hoban's List. So he didn't have any more dragons, and he had 2 Irons, and he had 2 dead JDs. And that made the huge deal, because all I know is he had to have the 1 of JD, and when he had the 1 of JD, I was able to have my Gaios at 4,000 to negate it and stop it. And he can't declare an attack either, so it builds advantage over time. So removal cards are a big deal. Anything that's really, like, Skill Drain is also a really big deal. I'm also testing that too. I think Skill Drain's a big deal. Trap Beater's not bad. I'm like 50-50 on it because I think it's a good card. A lot of them are playing Decree, and for you that like have synchros, and it's like it blends very well. I'm personally mainly XC. I think it's crucial against them. I also think Valor is actually good for once again. I think Valoring their monster is a big deal. If they go Lumina, stop their Lumina plays, it's pretty good. Blackhorn's also very good because it stops their JDs. It's an inherit summon. Also stops their craziness, like their Michael plays is a big deal. Black Rose, Exidian Arc, all that. So yeah, that's like Lightsworn structure and like my opinion on it, what I think the meta and what might help. So if you guys have any questions, whatever, I know we have about half the team of us are either building it for fun or playing it competitive. So we all have point of views, and I know I'm going to play it a lot because that's the testing. So that's it.